Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 6 Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Salima was excited about the summer camp she was attending. She had gone to visit Manali in Himachal Pradesh along with her classmates. She recalled how surprised she was to see the changes in landforms and natural vegetation as the bus climbed higher and higher. The deep jungles of the foothill, comprising of sal and teak, slowly disappeared. She could see tall trees with thin pointed leaves and cone-shaped canopies on the mountain slopes. She learned that those were coniferous trees. She noticed blooms of bright flowers on tall trees. There were the rhododendrons from Manali. As she was traveling up to Rohtang Pass, she saw that the land was covered with short grass and snow in some places. So here is a Let's Do session. Now can you tell why Salima saw changes in the natural vegetation as she climbed higher and higher? What type of vegetation did she see in the Himalayas, starting with the foothill and going to the higher altitude? From Salima's observation, we surmise that there is a close relationship between the height of land and the character of vegetation. With the change in height, the climate changes, and the changes natural vegetation. The growth of vegetation depends on the temperature and moisture. It also depends on factors like slope and thickness of soil. The type of thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place. Because of the variation in this factor, natural vegetation is generally classified into three broad categories. So before that, there is a Let's Do session. Like Salma visited, you go to visit any new place, notice the type of natural vegetation occurring there and try to think of factors responsible for the growth of such vegetation in that habitat. Note down if any human interference had taken place in that area in terms of deforestation, grazing, cultivation of cash crops, constructional activities, etc. So you can do that. So there are three types of natural vegetation. First is forest, which grow where temperature and rainfalls are plentiful to support a tree cover. And depending upon these factors, dense and open forests are grown. Second is grassland, which grows in the region of moderate rain. And there is shrubs, thorny shrubs, and shrubs grow in the dry region, as you can see in figure 6.2. Salima was sharing her experience of Himalayan trip with her father. Her father visited various places in the world. He told Salima about his observations of the variety of vegetation in different parts of different continents. He mentioned about coniferous forests in the subpolar regions, thorny bushes in the deserts, thick tropical hardwood forests in the humid regions, and many more. Salima realized the Himalayas have almost all variety of vegetation, which one can see while moving from the equator to the polar region. The changes in the type of natural vegetation occur mainly because of the changes of climatic condition. Let us get to know the different type of natural vegetation of the world with their characteristics, features, and wildlife inhabiting them. So there is a do you know section. The tropical evergreen forest in Brazil is so enormous that it is like the lungs of the earth. Can you tell why? Forest, tropical evergreen forest. These forests are also called tropical rainforest. You can see it in figure 6.3. It is a dense forest. The thick forest occurs in the region near the equator and close to the tropics. These regions are hot and receive heavy rainfall throughout the year. As there is no particular dry season, the trees do not shed their leaves altogether. This is the reason they are called evergreen. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest even in the daytime. So the sunlight does not falls on the ground because of the thick canopies of the trees. They are together. Hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common here. So here is a do you know section. Anaconda, one of the world's largest snake, is found in the tropical rainforest. It can kill and eat a large animal such as a crocodile. So an anaconda can kill a large animal like crocodile, and it lives in tropical rainforest. A tropical evergreen forest is in figure 6.3. You can see that. Tropical deciduous forests. Tropical deciduous are the monsoon forests found in the large part of India, northern Australia, and in Central America, as in figure 6.4. You can see that these regions experience seasonal changes. Trees shed their leaves in the dry season to conserve water. The hardwood trees found in these forests are sal, teak, neem, and shisham. Hardwood trees are extremely useful for making furniture, transport, and constructional material. Tigers, lion, elephant, langoose, and monkeys are the common animals in this region. So you can see these in 6.5, 6.6, and 6.8. So here is a let's do section. It says, where in India do tropical evergreen and tropical deciduous forests occur? Name the state. Which type of forest dominates the most part of India? So you can see 6.5 is a tiger, 6.6 is a langur, golden langur, and 6.8 is elephant. Temperate evergreen forests. The temperate evergreen forests are located in the mid-latitudinal coastal region. Figure 6.7, you can see a temperate evergreen forest. They are commonly found along the eastern margin of the continents, example in southeast USA, South China, and in the southeast Brazil. They comprise both hard and softwood trees like oak, pine, and eucalyptus, etc. Temperate deciduous forests. As we go towards higher latitudes, there are more temperate deciduous forests, as in figure 6.11. They are found in the region eastern part of USA, China, New Zealand, Chile, and also found in the coastal regions of West Europe. They shed their leaves in the dry season. The common trees are oak, ash, beech, etc. Deer, foxes, wolves are the commonly found animals here. Birds like pheasants, monols, and are also found here. So you can see these animals in 6.9 and 6.10. Here is a pheasant and a monal. So Mediterranean vegetation. We learned that most of the east and northeast margins of the continents are covered by temperate evergreen and deciduous trees. The west and southwest margins of the continent are different. They have Mediterranean vegetation. So you can see in figure 6.12 a vineyard in the Mediterranean region. So here is a do you know section. It says Mediterranean trees adapt themselves to dry summers with the help of their thick barks and wax coated leaves, which help them to reduce transpiration. Mediterranean region are known as orchards of the world for their fruit cultivation. So there is too much production of fruits, so it is called orchards of the world. So it is mostly found in the areas around Mediterranean Sea in Europe, Africa, and Asia. Hence the name. This kind of vegetation is also found outside the actual Mediterranean region in California in the USA, Southwest Africa, Southwestern South America, and Southwest Australia. These regions are marked for hot dry summer and mild rainy winters. Citrus fruits such as oranges, figs, olives, and grapes are commonly cultivated here because people have removed the natural vegetation in order to cultivate what they want to. There isn't much wildlife here. So coniferous forests in the higher latitudes 50 degree to 70 degree of northern hemisphere, the spectacular coniferous forests are found. So you can see in figure 6.13 A and B. So there is a do you know section. Tiaga means pure or untouched in Russian language. These are also known as Tiaga. These forests are also seen in the higher latitudes area. There are trees which Salima found in the Himalayas in abundance. They are tall, softwood evergreen trees. The wood of these trees are very useful for making pulp, which is used for manufacturing papers and newsprints. So it is useful for making paper and newsprints. Matchboxes and packing boxes are also made from softwood. Cheer, pine, cedar are the commonly important variety of the trees in this forest. Silver fox, mink, polar bear are the common animals found here. So there are this example of coniferous in 6.13 a figure and 6.30b, the snow covered coniferous forest. Grasslands, tropical grasslands, these occur on either side of the equator and extend till the tropics, as you can see in figure 6.14, the tropical grassland. This vegetation grows in the area of moderate to low amount of rainfall. The grass can grow very tall, about 3 to 4 meter in height. So grasses will grow very high. Savanna grasslands of Africa are this type. Elephants, zebras, giraffe, deer, leopard are common in tropical grassland. So you can see in 6.15 the picture of a giraffe. Temperate grassland. These are found in the mid-latitudinal zone and in the interior part of the continents. Usually grass here is short and nutritious. Wild buffaloes, bisons, antelope are common in this temperate region. Thorny bushes. These are found in the dry desert-like regions. Tropical deserts are located on the western margin of the continents. The vegetation cover is scarce here because of scanty rain and scorching heat. So here too much heat is there and rain is very less. Identify the desert region in the world map. Can you name the Great Desert of India? Name some of the common animals of the desert which you have learned either earlier. So here's a do you know session. It says grasslands are known as by different names in different regions. Tropical grasslands in East Africa it is said savanna. In Brazil, Campos. Venezuela it is called llanos. And temperate grasslands, Argentina there is pampas. North America, prairie. And in South Africa it's veld. In Central Africa it is steppe. And in Africa it is down. So these are the names. If you reach the polar region, you will find the place extremely cold. The growth of natural vegetation is very limited here. Only mosses, lichens and very small shrubs are found here. It grows during the very short summer. This is called tundra type of vegetation. This vegetation is found in the polar area of Europe, Asia and North America. The animals have thick fur and thick skin to protect themselves from the cool climate condition. Seal, walruses, musk oxen, Arctic owl, polar bear and snow foxes are found in the some of the animals found here. As you can see in figure 6.16, there is a walrus, polar bear and a seal. Salima's father showed her some photographs of thick forests. In some of the photographs, Salima observed that people were cutting trees and clearing the forest. Her father explained that the local people wanted their land for agriculture and settlement, so they cleared up the forest. Salima started wondering, if all forests are cleared up, then where will the wildlife go? Will the forest take its original shape again? If people go on cutting the trees like this, will there be enough oxygen, water vapor, timber, fruit, nuts available in future? So Salima is thinking very nicely. This must be the concern of everyone, but no one is thinking like this. Do you agree with Salima? Hold a discussion with your friends about the depletion of our diversified flora and fauna. Suggest some measure to conserve them. So here the chapter is finished and we'll start the next chapter in the next class. Thank you.